Bass boost your sound with MXR's vintage bass octave. A strong dual voice tone that will certainly deliver rich fundamentals to your music. Now, you've probably heard of lots of different sub-bass octave pedals for the bass guitar, but what makes this pedal so good in my opinion, and why do so many bass players call on it for their sub-bass goodness? In this video, I'm going to take you through the unique features behind this pedal and the iconic sounds you can get out of it with the settings that I'll show you later on in the video. The MXR Vintage Bass Octave has essentially 3 different settings, with a true bypass and a bonus feature which I'll get to in a minute. First, we have a dry control, which is simply your bass signal with no effect. Then we have Octave 1, which is your first sub-control, and then Octave 2, which is your second sub-octave. Now be wary, that's 2 sub-octaves below a dry note on your bass guitar, so make sure to play up the high register of the bass. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is a bonus feature on this pedal, and that is the mid boost. When switched on, you get the positive indication of a blue light on the pedal. The mid switch can add definition to your sound when things get very bass heavy, and trust me, they certainly can when you start turning up these octave controls. Now, let's look at some of the iconic sounds that you can get out of this pedal. First up, let's create that classic octave bass sound by blending the raw and Octave 1 signals. Now let's hear how just the Octave 1 sounds on its own to give a synth-based tone. Now let's check out the Octave 2 when playing up in the high register of the bass. So that was a demo of some of the popular sounds you can get out of the MXR Vintage Bass Octave. Let me know if you use an octave bass pedal in the comments, and I'd love to know what are your favourite settings. I'd never really used the second octave before, however when filming this video I tried it out and I really like it. It has a super smooth, quite articulate, punchy tone and is very different in my opinion to the Octave 1. So I think this is a very valuable control to have on the pedal. And yes, you can get pedals like the POG, this POG pedal, which is actually digital, not analog, unlike the MXR Octave Bass. Now I'm actually a very big fan of that pedal being analog because I think this is great for tracking on those super low sub frequencies. It's cool to have the octave up, the sub octave and the dry signal, and perhaps maybe a little bit more useful in a range of settings. However, the Octave 2, sub Octave 2 does definitely have a unique sound, so perhaps for somebody who is trying to create different synth textures, similar to what might be done on the bass keyboard, it could probably be very useful for them. I'm also a big fan of the mid boost, which is extremely useful, especially in a live situation where you really want to keep some definition, punch through the mix. Now MXR also make a Bass Octave Deluxe, but one of the benefits of this pedal is the very small chassis size. The pedal being so small means that it can fit very conveniently on a small board, which is how I'm using it, or if it's a standalone pedal to carry around, it's super lightweight and will simply go in one of your pockets in your gig bag. I'm also a big fan of this pedal being analog, as I find the tracking to be superior and it's a very reliable choice for a gigging and studio musician. Overall, I've been very impressed with this pedal, even though the price is a little higher than some of the other pedals out there. I do think that you get what you paid for, and it's lasted very well. I've been using this pedal for a couple of years now, and I'm sure it will continue to last me. If you've enjoyed the content today, please let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a new video. And take care, and I'll see you back here in the next video.